Yo guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about the things that Black Ops 6 needs to change and needs to get right to actually make the game enjoyable and have a lot of longevity without people getting bored quickly. But before we get into today's video, if you are new around, be sure to subscribe to channel notifications so you don't miss any more videos on the channel. If you do enjoy it, smash thumbs up, and also let me know if you agree or disagree with me in the comments below, because I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But let's get straight into it right now. So overall, so far, everything coming out of Black Ops 6 does seem very positive. There's a lot more positives than there are negatives, but of course we haven't actually played the game as of yet. We've had the beta weekend, which was great. That was a bit of fun, but again, with the beta, it does get pretty boring and pretty tedious pretty quickly, simply because of the fact that everything you're doing in the beta doesn't actually have any progress towards the actual game. You can only play with a certain amount of guns, you can only play a certain amount of maps, and just play the same sort of game modes over and over again. So after a couple of days, it does get a little bit boring, and people do start going back to Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone. Because, like I said, there's not really much point in grinding a load of the beta, because no progress that you make carries over into the full game. So you don't really need to be grinding the beta. It's just a bit of fun. It's a way for Call of Duty to work out what does well, what doesn't do well, how the server's going to cope, and all that sort of stuff. It's more of a feedback for them than it is for the actual players to actually have a fun weekend on the beta. But other than that, of course, we haven't played any Black Ops 6. So as of right now, everything we're seeing, all the trailers, the news, the leaks, everything that's coming out, the game looks very, very positive. And even from the beta experience, it seemed like a fun game. The Omni movement was a great addition into the game from what we felt in the beta. It felt really nice. But there's a couple things that I think they need to get right, or they maybe need to change from Modern Warfare 3 into Black Ops 6, just to make the game a bit more enjoyable, keep the player base entertained for a lot longer. Because, to be honest, for the last month or two, I really haven't been playing much Call of Duty in terms of Modern Warfare 3 or Warzone. The game's a bit stale for me. I know Black Ops 6 is around the corner, so I'm sort of like, I'm just going to hold off for Black Ops 6, which is why I've not been posting as much content as what I normally do. I normally post daily content, and recently it's been like 3 videos a week, if that sometimes, because I just haven't been playing the game. I'm not enjoying it. It's not fun, and I'm not going to force myself to do something I don't enjoy doing to then post a bit of content that's not actually very entertaining for you guys, because I'm not even enjoying making it. But the first bit of good news that we do have is Treyarch have said coming this week there is going to start being a lot more news in terms of Black Ops 6. So we should start getting a lot more news and a lot more leaks, because it is sort of around that time. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is just over 2 weeks away now. On Friday, it'll be exactly 2 weeks. So it's just over 2 weeks away now from being launched, which is absolutely amazing. And of course, that's when a lot more information is going to come out. Treyarch and Call of Duty themselves are going to start announcing a lot more for Black Ops 6, a lot more promotions that might be going on to earn some double XP tokens. Of course, we already know we've got the Monster collab coming, which is going to give us double XP tokens, weapon skins, operator skins, and apparently Little Caesars may be getting one as well. But we should be getting all of that sort of news with all of the news that Call of Duty are saying they're going to be dropping over the next couple of weeks leading up to the launch of Black Ops 6, which for me is always super exciting. We start to learn a lot more about the weapons, the maps, you know, we just learn a lot more about the full game and how we're going to be able to get the weapons camo done and all that sort of stuff. We are going to learn a lot more about the game over the next couple of weeks, which is very, very exciting. So now let's move on to the things that they need to change, or the things that they need to get right going into Black Ops 6. And at launch, we have got about 16 brand new maps, I believe, and Treyarch themselves have already said majority of these maps, if not all of them, are going to be medium to small map sizes, which for me sounds great. I don't like bigger maps on multiplayer. I absolutely despise them. I don't know the way they play. I don't like running around for ages, not finding someone, then you die and you spawn really far away from the action. You have to run all the way back in again. I like the small to medium maps. It's fast paced, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of kills, a lot of assists, and also just a lot of objective time to be had. So I really enjoy those maps, because for me, I like the fast-paced playstyle of multiplayer. However, not everybody does. Some people do like to play a bit more slow. The more casual player, someone who's not as good at the game and can run around and just run and gun like I can, or a lot of the better players can, they quite actually enjoy the slower playstyle. They enjoy the bigger maps. They can play a bit more slow, a bit more reserved. There's not action going on 24/7. They can just sort of chill out a little bit and enjoy the game the way they enjoy playing it. So I think they probably do need to actually give a couple of bigger maps into the game and just cater towards those players that actually enjoy the bigger maps. Even if they do what we had before, we have like the bigger maps in one playlist and then you have all the other maps in another playlist. Even if it's a bigger size map game mode, put that game mode out so then players that enjoy the bigger maps can go and play the bigger maps. And then for everyone else like myself who wants to play the smaller medium sized maps, we just jump into normal multiplayer and we can play it that way. I think that would be a good way of doing it, because like I said, it sort of needs to balance out the play styles that people do have, because not everyone is a run and gun player. Not everyone likes the bigger map sizes. Some people do enjoy the slower maps, the smaller map sizes, so they can actually just take it easy. You know, they can sort of play positioning, hold different angles. They're not going to get shot left, right and center all the time. So I think for those sort of players, they do need to maybe add 1 or 2 bigger maps in. But me personally, I'm not too against the just medium and small maps. I really don't mind it. For me, it's a lot of fun. They're the maps I enjoy playing. They're the maps I have the most fun on. There's most action going on in them. It's just pure chaos. There's just a lot going on, and that's what I personally really enjoy from a multiplayer perspective. And let's be honest, the most maps that people probably play are Shipment 24/7, Rust 24/7, Das Haus 24/7, all of those 24/7 playlists that are on the small maps. That's what people are playing majority of the time. So I can see why they've made a lot of the maps this year small and medium-sized maps rather than big maps. So the next thing I want to talk about is the new Camo Grind. And as we know, there are 3 Mastery Camo Grinds to go for this year. We've got Zombies, Multiplayer, and Warzone. The first time we have ever seen 3 different Mastery Camo Grinds in one game, which for me, who I'm someone that enjoys the Mastery Camo Grind, that for me is the most fun part of the game, is unlocking the Mastery Camos, getting all the camos unlocked, getting that Mastery Final Camo unlocked within the game, depending on what game mode I'm playing. I've done it every single year for Multiplayer and Zombies for the last however many years now. It's always been the thing that I've enjoyed doing. So for them to add another one in Warzone, for me is very fun. I'm excited for it. I really hope it's going to be a good Mastery Camo Grind. However, I actually hope it's a little bit harder this year round. And the reason for this is I feel like the last couple of years, they've made it easier and easier and easier to unlock the Mastery Camo, which for the casual player is great. You know, if you are someone that doesn't spend a lot of time on the game, that's great for you. It means it's a lot more likely for you to be able to unlock it. But for me, who's someone that actually enjoys it and likes to show off the Mastery Camos, the Mastery Camo Grind has been a little bit too easy recently, and it just makes the camos not feel as special. You don't ever see anyone running them because everybody has got them unlocked, because it is just an easy camo grind now. It really is easy. So I actually hope this year they actually make it a bit more difficult, harder challenges, more camos to unlock. You know, the challenges you have to do aren't as easy as just get 25 kills or 10 double kills or something like that. I hope they actually make it a bit more challenging, a bit more infuriating, and just actually something that you have to really, really grind for, and it takes a bit longer than people getting it unlocked within the first, like, 72 hours of the game being out or something like that. I hope they actually make it a really hard challenge this year round. So when you do get that Mastery Camo, it feels special. You're one of the only people that you actually see running it in-game, because I don't see anybody running Interstellar or Borealis this year anymore. And to be honest, I haven't seen them running it for months and months and months. It was only the first 2 to 3 maybe months that I actually saw anyone using it. And then they added obviously a lot more event camos in, a lot more cool camos that were very easy to unlock again through the event tab. They had a lot more animated camos. They were bright, vibrant camos. And to be honest, they were way easier to unlock than the Mastery Camos. So everyone was just using those because they didn't want to go and do the Mastery Camo Grind, or if they had done it, they've now unlocked better camos from simply just playing a few amount of games. So I hope they do get the Mastery Camo Grind right. I hope they make it more challenging, but I also hope that they balance it nicely as well. So it's a challenge, but it's not too difficult that nobody does it to the point where, you know, every event camo that comes out is just a better camo, so you're not going to be going for it. Because at the end of the day, why would you go and level up and unlock camos on 50 different weapons when you could just play 2 days worth of COD and get a really sick animated camo anyway? So I hope they do make it worth the grind, and you know, it is worth the grind, but it's a little bit harder, so not everybody has it. But for me, that's just down to my personal preference. That's just what I want to see, because I don't want to see everyone with a Mastery Camo, because it kind of does make it a little bit less special in my opinion. The next thing I want to talk about is the weapons in this game, and we should have around about 40 to 50 weapons from what I'm hearing from a lot of different people. There should be around 40 to 50 different weapons in the game, including primaries, secondaries, and melees. And this is amazing, right? A nice big variety of weapons in the game. You've got a lot of weapons to level up, a lot of weapons to get camos on to complete the Mastery Camo Grind. I'm here for it. I love that. I love that there's a lot of different weapons to use. However, I just hope this year they actually balance the weapons a bit better, and it's a nice pool of weapons that we can use, rather than it being the same 3 or 4 meta weapons that everybody uses in every single game. If you're more of a casual player, you might not notice it as much. If a lot of people, like, you know, if your skill base isn't too high, you might see a lot of variety in your games. However, for me and a lot of the other, like, better players at the game, and it feels like you're playing in sweaty lobbies and scrim lobbies all the time, you just see the same weapons in rotation every single game. It's a variety of maybe 2 to 3 different weapons you will see, and it is so boring using and playing against the same guns over and over and over again. And this applies to Warzone as well. It's always the same weapons in every single game that everybody is using, and it just is so boring. So I really hope they get the weapon balancing in this game down to a T, where it is a case of, all right, you might not be able to use every single weapon in the game, but almost every gun in every class is actually usable in game. It is viable. You can win gunfights with it. You're not going to get outgunned if you're not using the meta weapons. You know, there's not a faster TTK on any other gun than one you're using. I just hope they balance it to a point where you can jump in game and just use whatever gun you enjoy using. So that is one thing that I'm really hoping for with the weapons in this game. But I'm excited to see all the brand new weapons. We're going to have a nice variety of weapons. Like I said, there should be 40 to 50 brand new weapons being added into the game at launch, which is going to be super exciting. And of course, we'll start getting additions of more weapons coming throughout the seasons as well, which is going to be really nice. So one thing I'm now concerned about for Black Ops 6, and I'm going to be very interested to see how well they do this, and that's seeing how fresh they can keep the game feeling and how well they can keep up with the content. Because Because to be fair, in Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone recently, every single week we have had a brand new event. We've had crossovers, we've had collaborations with movies and things like that. We've had brand new events come into the game. And it almost does, to be fair, feel like it is a weekly thing coming into the game, which has been super, super nice. It gives you a reason to at least get on the game for a day or two and grind something new out, to unlock a new weapon, to unlock a new camo, to unlock a new aftermarket part, to go ahead and do the events, to go unlock a new operator skin. Whatever it might be, it has kept the game feeling slightly fresh and slightly enjoyable. It gives you a reason to get on the game at least once a week to go and grind these new things out. So I'm just hoping in Black Ops 6 they do keep up with these weekly challenges, these weekly events, these weekly things going on that make you get on the game. But what I'm also hoping is they actually make it a little bit more of a grind than what was in Modern Warfare 3. Because a lot of the time when the new weekly challenges came out for a new aftermarket part, or the new weekly challenges for the camo, or even some of the events, you could honestly get them done within 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours, and that would be it completely finished. You could literally load on at 6 PM UK time onto Call of Duty on the Wednesday. The challenges or the event has just come out and you could have it done by 9, 10 PM UK time. You could literally have it done on the same day within a matter of hours. So like I said, I am hoping that they do keep up bringing out the weekly stuff where it's a new weekly event, a new weekly challenge. There's just something new to go on every single week. I'm just hoping they make it a little bit more challenging, a little bit more of a grind, give you a reason to actually keep playing the game and stay on the game. Because like I said, I'd be getting on to unlock the new event thing, or the new mastery challenge, or the new weapon challenge, whatever it was, and then after a couple of hours I'd already had it finished and I was off the game. I was only on there for an hour or two, and then I had no reason to get back on the game other than making content between that week and the next week of stuff coming out. So I really hope they do make it a little bit more of a grind, so it sort of does take you nearly a week. Even if it takes you 4 days rather than 1 day, that's going to be much, much better in my opinion. So I hope they manage to balance this again. They get everything coming out on a weekly basis. They keep the game fresh. They keep loads of new content coming. They keep it very enjoyable and reasons for us to log on to the game. But I also hope they do it so it is a little bit more challenging, so it does take a little bit longer to unlock rather than being a nice quick unlock like they have been recently. Another thing that needs to happen is anti-cheat needs to work this year round. It just has to. It's as simple as that. Anti-cheat needs to do better. It needs to work better. It needs to be more seamless, because hackers still just run rampant in this game. If you're playing Warzone at the moment before Black Ops 6 comes out, you can tell they just don't care about saving that game right now. Their focus is on Black Ops 6. There are so many cheaters in Warzone as of right now, and they just don't seem to be getting banned. They are just like, they're just leveling up quickly. They're in game after game after game. The anti-cheat doesn't seem to be like clocking them, doesn't seem to be banning them, doesn't seem to be doing anything about it, and they're just running rampant right now. So Black Ops 6 with the new Warzone integration as well, anti-cheat just needs to do better, and it is as simple as that. I'm not going to say any more on it. It just simply has to do better. Another thing that needs to be better is SBMM. SBMM needs to be so much more balanced than what it is, because I don't want to be playing ranked games without being in ranked games. I don't want to load into a pub game and have to sweat to get a good game. I don't want to play like that anymore. I want the old Call of Duty feel to it. And I know back in old Call of Duties, there was still SBMM as far as they're aware and what they've told us. There was SBMM in the older Call of Duties. It was just toned down so much. It was so easy back then. Like, you could quite easily sometimes get into a lobby where it was good players. You'd have a bit more of a challenge. But then the next game, you'd get into a lobby and it was absolute bots. You could run around and drop absolutely insane kills, double or triple Moabs in old Modern Warfare 3 or something like that. It was so fun back then, whereas now it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I have to get into a game and try, otherwise I'm just not going to get a good game. I can't just sit here and casually play. I have to be locked in. I have to try hard, otherwise it's just not going to be a good game. I'm not going to get my challenges done. I'm just going to get slammed from everywhere because everyone's just sweating, and it's just, honestly, SBMM just needs to be more balanced within this game in my opinion. And the final thing I quickly want to touch on is round-based zombies needs to have that old school feel to it. Round-based zombies really needs to feel like an old school round-based zombies game mode, and the only way they get away with it not feeling like that is if they actually somehow manage to make it better, which I don't see them happening if they go away from the old school feel. But round-based zombies just needs to feel like a round-based zombies from Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, even Black Ops 3. They were just such fun Call of Duty zombies games. That's the zombies that everybody loved. They're the zombies that everyone enjoyed grinding, so they need to give it that feel. And if they want to add a big map for zombies like they have done recently, like the Outbreak style maps, they can go ahead and do it, but don't make that the only map. Make it, you know, a side map where everyone can play that if they want to, but then they have this round-based zombies. And but round-based, from what I'm hearing from people that have went to Call of Duty Next and stuff like that, just didn't feel as nostalgic and as fun as old round-based zombies. So I'm hoping they do something to fix that. I hope they do something to make that change and actually make it feel a lot more like the old school round-based zombies. But they're the things I'm hoping to see in Black Ops 6, and the things that I think need changing from Modern Warfare 3 into Black Ops 6. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. If you have enjoyed today's video, be sure to smash a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, notifications turned on. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one in a bit. Peace.